The project that I'm about to show you paid for my table saw, and it only cost me $19.20 worth of wood to build. Let's go. So if you've been following us since the very beginning, our very first build was a coffee table. It was a coffee table that I made a bunch of, and that's why we started YouTube, because I was making these coffee tables, I was batching them out, I was selling them, and I was making pretty good money. So today I'm gonna show you how to make that exact same table, but a little bit better, a little bit faster, and a little bit cheaper. For this build, you're gonna need 5 2x4s. And the first thing you're gonna do is take 3 of them and cut 40-inch pieces off of them. You're gonna get 2 40-inch pieces from 1 2x4. You're gonna do that 3 times, so you'll have 6 pieces that are 40 inches long. All right, so you're gonna grab another 2x4, and we're gonna get 2 pieces off this that are 37 inches long, but you need to put 45-degree angles on both of the sides. So from the sharp tip to the sharp tip, it is 37 inches long, both of those. And then you're gonna need 2 more pieces that have a 45-degree angle on them, but those pieces are gonna be 17 inches long. So you'll be able to get one of those from the excess on this 2x4, and then the other one you'll just get from the other 2x4. So let's cut this one up first. I should mention, we've got our 16-inch cutoffs from those other 2x4s. You can save those, we'll need them a little bit later. But for these cuts, you're gonna put your saw to 45 degrees. Now from one end, you're gonna measure 37 inches. Then you're gonna continue that line all the way down. And now where the back of that blade's gonna cut, you want it to hit that line right there. Make your cut. Now that you've got that cut, you're gonna wanna flip this thing around so that angle is opposite of what you just cut. You just cut the other end like this, now you're cutting this one like this, so the whole piece will be a trapezoid when you're done cutting. Make sure you're cutting this one to the very edge right there and make your cut. All right, so here it is, 2 angles cut, it's a trapezoid. From here to here is 37 inches. Do that again with the rest of that. I'm just making a line there so I know where to cut. And I'm gonna put that blade on the outside of that line I just cut. So not directly cutting on that line. Here are our 2 pieces we just cut. Now you're gonna do the exact same thing, but this piece needs to be 17 inches long. Again, tip to tip, that's 17 inches. You're gonna do 2 of these. So 1 from that cutoff, then 1 from the new 2x4. This is what's left of your 2x4. You're gonna get 4 pieces that are 17 inches long, but cut them at 0 degrees, not 45. And then we're done with the cut list, kind of. Well, there's still more cutting to do, but that's woodworking. We wanna do a video where our moms challenge each other to build. What do you guys think? Would you watch our moms? Would you watch our moms go on a woodworking battle? Mother versus mother. Fight to the building of a shed. Okay, this is all of them. If you want the full cut list, we will leave that in the description below. But for now, we're gonna take our 4 17-inch legs and we're gonna put some half laps into them. You do not need to do this if you don't want to, or if you are not able to, based on the tools you have. That's fine. We're gonna do them just because we want to make that first table a little bit better. So instead of the legs just being screwed into the 2x4 like this, we're gonna put the half lap. So what this is gonna do is it's definitely gonna look better, and it's also gonna give this a little bit more structural integrity. We're gonna take all of our legs over to the miter saw. So right now when you push it down, it's gonna cut all the way through the wood. So on most of your miter saws, you'll have a little half lap setting. So this is how I make my half laps. This lever comes down, and then you've got this little nub here, which you can screw in and out. So this makes the saw either cut deeper into the cut, or you can set it up so it only cuts a little bit into the piece of wood. So we've set it here. From the teeth of the blade to the surface of the miter saw is 1/2 inch. So this piece that I already cut, you can go ahead and you slide that in there, and you see you can't cut any further than that. So it'll be cutting 1 inch into your piece. When you're cutting half laps, you need to have another piece in between the fence and your piece. If you were just putting your piece here and you were just gonna cut it here with nothing in between, this is what would happen. Right? It looks fine, but the saw doesn't go all the way through. See how it's deeper there? Not there. The saw can't go all the way through, and you can't really see in here, but this cut actually goes straight and then it goes up because the saw can't go any further back. So you need something so that the saw can take the entirety of the piece off and then go into a scrap piece over here, which it won't cut all the way through. Now we're just gonna get the other half laps cut into all of our other legs, and you get to watch. The half laps are done. Consider these halves lapped. Next, we're gonna put our 45-degree angled pieces together and we're gonna make a box. So go ahead and make your box. So what I'm doing right now is just putting some glue on the edge grain of the 2 longer pieces on both 45-degree angles. Make sure you rub that glue in because it's end grain, and then put them all together. Then we're gonna go ahead with some masking tape just to hold those together. Put a little bit of pressure on it. That is not what's gonna keep these together. So because I'm gonna be covering all of my screw holes with a dowel, I'm using a 3/8 inch drill bit, and I'm gonna put a flag on it. Then I'm gonna go ahead with a 1/8 inch drill bit, which is gonna do a pre-hole on all of those that I just made. And then I'm gonna go ahead with a screw, sink a screw into it. I'm using 2-inch screws here. I'm not gonna go super tight with the screws, but I'm definitely gonna make it snug so it brings those joints together a little bit. Then gonna go around with the 3/8 inch dowel, put a little bit of glue on it, put it in, and then saw off the excess with my handsaw. Now we're gonna let it dry for a little bit, let it solidify a little bit. You can take that tape off if you want, and then we'll move on to the next step. So while that's gluing, we're gonna work on the top. So for those 6 pieces that you cut at 40 inches, you're gonna take those over to the table saw and you're gonna rip them down so they are 3 1/4 inch thick. And remember, we're going for the same style as the first coffee table I made, so we're gonna put a round over on these. I know we just cut the round over off, but that round on those 2x4s are not always perfect, they're not always great. So we're gonna put our own round on it that's just a little bit less aggressive. I'm just gonna put a 1/8 inch round over on all these so the round is pretty small, and I'm doing all of the sides, 4 on the top and the 4 on the bottom. All right, so here they are all laid out. These are gonna be the back sides that we have up. The underside is this part that we think looks better, so that's gonna be our top. So you're gonna lay everything down, face down, just like this, and then use some scrap pieces to push it all together. And then we're just gonna clamp these together just to hold them in place. We're not gonna do any glue right now. Just gonna clamp them together, keep them all in place. Clamp this side too. Now we're gonna take our base, lay it down, and then we're gonna center it up on these pieces. So there should be an 1.5 inch overlap on each side, so just go ahead and measure that out on each side, make sure that that is perfect. Now we're just gonna trace it, so then we can pick it up, put some glue, and then put it right back down. Now just put some glue on the outside of that line that you just drew. Pop that sucker back on there, and line it up. Now you're just gonna get some clamps on there. All right, let's take these clamps off. It's been probably 2 hours, so it's good. Okay, now that all the clamps are off, let's get these attached. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some glue here, and then we're gonna put some glue on the edge here that's gonna be coming up against this shorter edge. So you've got a good joint there, and then we're gonna pop a couple screws into there so we don't have to wait for that glue to dry before we flip it over. All right, sturdy as can be, let's get it flipped over.
All right, Peter went inside to take a break, so I was just gonna sand it, but I think I'm just gonna stain it, and it'll surprise him with it after.
Hey guys, quick pause. I came to bring John a quesadilla. There's a lot of sawdust in here. You're not wearing a mask, there's so much sawdust. It is the worst quesadilla I've ever had. It is corn.
Really not good.
It's corn tortilla, and pizza cheese. It's so bad. I had 2 of them myself because I was hungry. This looks good. I didn't know you were gonna do all this.
That's the point.
All right, guys. Here it is, finished product. I'm very happy with it. It's quick, it's easy, really didn't take us that long to do. And it's all from 2x4s. I think it looks pretty good. So this is something that I'm gonna post for $100, and I'm gonna leave it up for a week. And if I don't get any hits on Facebook for it, I'll drop it down to 75 for $19.20 worth of wood. And again, you're just working with 2x4, so it's a pretty easy project. These easy rustic style coffee tables, everybody needs one. And this is something that I guarantee you, if you start making these and selling them, you'll be able to buy yourself some new tools. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, comment down below any other videos you'd like us to make. I'll see you in the next one. Guys, if you like that video and you want to check out 100 woodworking projects that we've done, click over there, and then you can click over here to check out a farmhouse style bench we made out of 1 2x10.